I want to talk about specific takeaways, like I said, for our audience that can help them manage their debt better. Vishal, I'm going to start with you because your product, I won't say your product, but the area that you cover, a home loan is probably the most trickiest, toughest loan products out there. I remember when I had taken it, I couldn't even understand it. I used to just sign the PDCs and that's it. Baat khatam. Of course, we moved a long way since then. But if you want to, give 5 tips or 5 points or checklist of how to handle a home loan better, in specific, this whole thing about rates changing, rates going up, rates going down. You open the newspaper, you see, arey, repo rate cut ho gaya, but my rate is the same. How do we do that? Let's just have a laundry list out here of how to handle a home loan.
So see, I think for a typical home buyer, my advice is typically this 5-20-30-40 rule. Okay. Basically, at max, basically the cost of the house should be 5 times your income. Tenure should be 20 years and below. The down payment for the house should be 30% of the value. And your 40% is your EMI cost should not exceed 40% of your income. I think this is the part where you get in. Like I said, this is you have to decide that you are Arjun or Abhimanyu. Okay, Mahabharat. Most times the problem is people land up being Abhimanyu. And I think this is where I think lenders are really exploited. Okay, I'll give you one personal example, Arupam. For my wife's loan, she started it in, I think, 2017-18. She took it when the rate, I think, was 8.5%. Then the entire cycle of COVID and recovery happened. In between, last year, I noticed that rate has become 10.8%.
Wow.
So I was like, what's going on? The rates haven't risen so much. Within a couple of days, when I sent them a mail ki loan transfer karna hai. Within 4 or 5 days, it gets done. The problem over there is also, you have to pay a fee for reducing it. So when the rates are going up, everything is hunky-dory, right? And I think most home buyers, I think home loan takers, they don't monitor these things on a monthly basis. It's getting deducted. But I think this is one of the biggest loopholes. And I'm surprised actually RBI hasn't stepped in to close this gap, because this is in a way open plunder, right? Open loot. So I think that is the one warning I'll tell everybody. And I think maybe Aparna Parizat can give advice that how do you make that jump? Do you want to be Abhimanyu or Arjun? I think they have to give that answer.
I think taking your own example, there are three things in any financial product. Let it be investment, let it be insurance, let it be a loan. Ultimately, the responsibility is yours. So, when you have taken a loan, it is very important that you monitor which way it is going. Also, keep a tab on what is going on in the system. You can't today say, "Arey, mujhe pata hi nahi tha." Gone are those days, because we have information overload. So, we need to keep a tab on what is going on. Number one. Number two, what I really liked in your case was you wrote an email, which is very, very important. Otherwise, 9.5 on 10 will send a WhatsApp, right? Or they will do a voice call on the WhatsApp to the RM saying that mera na rate, mujhe loan change karna. And that day that RM is busy something else, and then that's the end of the story. And you happen to be free that day, so you saw the statement, so you did all that. But then if that guy doesn't take action, again this will go on for another 2 months. And these are stories I'm telling, are real life stories. So, that discipline ki nahi, aaj mujhe ye mail likhna hai, I want a response and I want to get this done, it requires a lot of discipline. And in the financial domain, I'm sticking my neck out to say, I am in existence because people are ignorant and lazy, right? Otherwise, I was not needed. What I'm doing is not rocket science. I'm only there because people are ignorant and lazy. So, that. And to answer that Abhimanyu and Arjun, it is not a big rocket science. Abhimanyu se Arjun in Mahabharat was a very complicated thing. In the financial domain, it just requires basic common sense and little bit of discipline, and you are able to manage.
But in Aparna, agreed. Should the onus always be on the person who is taking the loan? Okay? Or should we be able to create a system where that guy knows I can trust something? Then we are anyway operating a low trust society.
Abhi kaisa hai? Abhi we are in that transit where, see, we started with private banks. Then we got into this whole customer service. We realized as a country, customer service, we suck. Okay. So from there, we are moving to apps. Okay. So that human interface, whatever वो 10th fail वाले जो call उठाते थे, जिनको कोई rights ही नहीं था, ना ही उनके पास दांत थे. So from there, we've come to apps. Now, I think from here, where, you know, like lot more talk now, where he gave that example, credit card, 3 days, itna halla hua ki they had to, you know, shut. So, we are transitioning. I think lenders also today are, Parijot will correct me, are trying to, you know, categorize themselves. So, there is one lender who says, मुझे सिर्फ अच्छे लोगों से ही काम करना है, मुझे फालतू लोग चाहिए ही नहीं. So, they will make their policies, their products where it will only suit them. Then there is one that will say, like you going back to your Sudan or Bharat or Monaco or whatever. So, like that, we will have lenders as well. So, वैसे ये होगा. It is sad. It is sad that, you know, जब बढ़ाते हैं तो तुरंत होता है, वो immediate effect होता है, but नीचे आता है तो you have to make. It is very sad. It is actually.
It's a scam. No, it's a scam. It is a scam. मतलब.
But then I think it is just that we are getting better.